Hello everybody! So today I am doing my February haul. So I actually have a whole nother batch coming in, but I realized that it's not gonna be here until I ordered them off of Amazon, mostly everything off of Amazon, and they're all coming through like secondhand sellers. So they're all coming on different dates, which is kind of inconvenient, but it's okay. And I just wanted to do a haul with the ones that I've gotten so far. The ones that I have here, I'm super excited about, and they are in, this is being ambitious, but they are all in my February TBR list. So starting from the first one, I have And the Mountains Echoed by Khaled Hosseini. Oh god, I'm probably butchering the name. He is the author of The Kite Runner and A Thousand Splendid Suns, which both of them are on probably like my top 10 list. They're so good. I first read The Kite Runner back when I was in high school as a required read, and I gotta say, well, first off, I don't know why. I don't know if anyone else feels like this, like who's obsessed with reading now, but again, I've always loved reading, but I would never enjoy the required reads. For example, like all the classic books I probably read after I graduated. It's just interesting to me. Like maybe I just didn't have the brain capacity to appreciate like the writing at the time, but I don't know, like I would always be reading in high school, but I would never read. I would always spark note like all the actual books that I was supposed to read. So, but The Kite Runner was one of the required reads where I just remember I finished it so quickly because it was so good. It's a story of a friendship between two boys who grow up in very different worlds. One is the boy's servant. He is the servant of the boy's family, and they grow up as friends, and basically it kind of explores the relationship between the two friends. It's like an interesting relationship because again, they're like servant and master, but at the same time it explores the dynamic between the boy and his father, who throughout the story he's always trying to get some sort of like affirmation from, that he wants to hear internally, like he needs to be affirmed, and it's kind of his struggle with that of like being his son, and that like knowing that his father is proud of him. And then it also explores that the flip side dynamic of him becoming jealous of the servant's relationship and like his father's liking to the boy. And it's called The Kite Runner because they have like this, I don't know if it's like an annual thing where they actually fly kites, and basically something big happens where it changes the course. It changes things like forever. It kind of tells a story of like them growing up too, which I always love. I so appreciate it when a book can go from like beginning to end, as in like from childhood to adult, without like making it draggy, but also including all of the details. I think it's really hard to do that, but like he does it so masterfully, and it's so good. I'm finding it hard to like, oh my gosh, I really hope you can't hear my brother. He's literally cackling in the bedroom right now. So I am super excited to read this one, And the Mountains Echoed. I don't know if he has like more books besides these three, because these are the three. Oh no, it says right here, also by Khaled Hosseini, The Kite Runner and A Thousand Splendid Suns. So now I have all three, which makes me even more happy. But the writing is just so beautiful. And I actually, this is my first time reading the back of this. So to be honest, I don't even know what blah, blah, did you just hear what I said? I don't even know what this is really about.
What happens in them at the despairing hand of their father will test the unshakable bonds of family and irrevocably change not just their own lives, but those of multiple I can't talk today, generations.
He is the author is a U.S. Goodwill Envoy to the United Nations Refugee Agency, and the founder of the Khaled Hosseini Foundation, a nonprofit that provides humanitarian assistance to the people of Afghanistan. Wow. Amazing. I think all of his books do a really good job also of giving that background of Afghanistan, like what the culture is like, and really, because especially if you're someone who doesn't know anything about it, jumping into a book that's where it's set in Afghanistan, like, it can be hard. You can kind of get lost within the setting. Like, sometimes I feel like if you don't know anything about a country or a culture, it's like you have to kind of digest it, and it's part of the author's job to kind of like ease you into it, and I feel like he does such a good job with that because all of his books are set in Afghanistan. So I'm really excited to read this. Yes, that's my first one. My second one is, which came yesterday, is All the Light We Cannot See. I have had this in my TBR list for such a long time. I finally bought it. It finally came. It's a historical fiction novel, and I got really excited because it is set in World War II timeline. It kind of has to do with museum and art. When she's 12, the Nazis occupy Paris. Father and daughter flee. They carry what might be the museum's most valuable and dangerous jewel because her father, and when I say her, it's the main character Marie. Marie's father works in the Museum of Natural History. So I just found that aspect to be really interesting too. And there's this book that I read. Oh my gosh, I forgot what it's called. It was a great read. I have to find it though. And it was also set in World War II. I can't believe I forgot what it's called. Oh, The Forger! It's called The Forger. The Forger is a historical fiction novel where the main character has to forge art pieces for Nazi Germany. And it's like this crazy story of being a spy, but also his own loyalty and like his own journey. The way that the main character even gets to Paris in the first place is because he was offered this job, which was like really low-key, and he didn't really have a lot of information on it, but he was like, Paris, amazing opportunity, like he just took it. The reason why he was hired is so that he would make art to forge like the great pieces, because the fake ones actually get sold to Nazi Germany, so that they could actually keep like the real art. So it's like being a spy for the country, and it's like this crazy story. And I just remember it really being really good, and now I have to find it and reread it because it's also a great book. But yeah, All the Light We Cannot See, and this is a fat read, but I'm excited. And then the next ones, so I know for a fact I have these two that I'm gonna open right now. I don't know which one. I know for a fact one of them is The Way I Used to Be, but I don't know which one, what else would have come today. Okay, so this one is The Way I Used to Be. Here we go. Oh my gosh, so I saw this recommended on someone's list. I read the synopsis and I just had to get it. It's basically about a girl named Eden where her brother's best friend rapes her one night in high school, and then I believe, oh, here we go. So the story is told in 4 parts from her freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year, and basically it is supposed to kind of tell the story of her trauma and of how much this impacts her from like the 4-year time span. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this. I heard this is like an amazing book, so The Way I Used to Be. And then this one is the one that I don't know which one it is, because it doesn't say, oh, I'm gonna use these scissors, because it didn't say that anything else is supposed to be delivered today. Yay, it came! It's my Nicholas Sparks book. Oh, I'm excited. Oh, I'm so excited. It's called Every Breath. Yay! It finally came. Yeah, I'm really excited. So this is Nicholas Sparks, his latest book. And yeah, if you watch my past video, I was talking about how I was waiting for this book to come in, because it talked about how my dog is drinking water. I talked about his last book that I read in my last video, and how I was really disappointed in it. So I believe, and I'm really excited to read this one. Let's see. Hope Anderson is at a crossroads. Again, sorry, I don't really have a preface for a lot of these books.
But it says at 36, she's been dating her boyfriend, a surgeon, for 6 years with no wedding plans. Her father recently diagnosed with ALS. She decides to use a week at her family's cottage in Sunset Beach, North Carolina. That's where it all begins. It's ready the house for sale. True Walt has never visited North Carolina, but is summoned to Sunset Beach by letter from a man claiming to be its father. When the two strangers cross paths, their connection is as electric as it is unfathomable.
Okay. Okay. And a fun fact is that Nicholas Sparks, reading all of his books, has convinced me that I'm gonna take a trip to North Carolina, because all of his books are set in North Carolina, and the scenery described is like always so beautiful. And actually, so I was like really looking into it, and they say that Asheville, North Carolina is the #1 place for solo travelers in the US. It was voted that in like, I don't know, like last year or like 2 years ago or something, which I found so funny. Like, it sounds so random, but apparently Asheville is supposed to be like this really hip, vibrant, musical, like just a lot going on. It just sounds like a fun town. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna visit one day. But yeah, and then also I wrote down in my little list the books that are on their way, just to let you know. So now that I know that that one was Every Breath, the ones that are coming is I Owe You One by Sophie Kinsella, which is her latest novel, which I'm so freaking excited to read. And then Finding Audrey, which is also by Sophie Kinsella, which is one of her older books, but I figured like I just honestly fell in love with Sophie Kinsella again after like rereading her books. So I just want all of them, and I want to collect them. I have most of them, actually. And then the next one is China Rich Girlfriend, which is the second installment of the Crazy Rich Asians series, and I'm probably going to buy the third one very soon, too. The next one is Surprise Me, another Sophie Kinsella book. And then My Perfect Life, which is also another Sophie Kinsella book. So my favorite genres are historical fiction, especially on World War II, mysteries, and I don't know what you would like categorize Sophie Kinsella's. I feel like in books, it's more of like, I don't know if you would categorize it as like contemporary, or, to be honest, I really don't know. But I just really love books that make me laugh. So I really, really like Sophie Kinsella. And then obviously Nicholas Sparks, which is like romance. I keep wanting to say rom-com for some reason, but obviously it's not rom-com. Sophie Kinsella would make some great rom-com movies. Can I just say, like, her plot lines, I feel like, okay, well, Confessions of a Shopaholic was actually made into a movie, but I feel like some of her plot lines, like for one book that I read that I'll do in my February wrap-up, it has such a good storyline, and I'm like, somebody needs to make this into a movie, because rom-coms these days are trash. So that's just my opinion, but I don't think they're very good. Yeah, what else? And that is my February haul. I have 5 more books coming with these 4. So far I've bought 9. And then I have 10, 11. I have 2 books on 2 other books that I've had that are on my TBR list. So that makes a total of 11 books for my TBR. Very ambitious, but out of those 11, I am almost done listening to one. Actually, the one that I'm listening to, I didn't even count it, so that doesn't even count on my 11. But, yeah, we'll see how this goes, though. It's a lot. It's okay, I think I can get through it. That is all. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Give me recommendations. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!